So it is Danla's birthday. So happy birthday, Danla.
Happy birthday.
He's a million years old.
I am ancient.
So I foolishly shared an image from many years ago because I too am having a birthday soon. And yeah, so foolishly I did that, and now Facebook's just having a field day with it. So that was dumb. That was dumb of me. Also, thank you, Alhado, for subscribing to the Electric Dice podcast. Now we spam the log, boys.
Spamming.
We love you, Ian.
Delightful every time.
It's delightful.
Every time.
God, it's so good.
Every time it's so good. It's so good.
Hey, HBO, get on our level.
Wait, what the heck? Tom, I like your post. I'm liking it several times because my computer is crap. Okay.
Perfect.
So when we ended the last episode, the party was roused from an otherwise normal day in sub-light speed travel to deal with a very loud and very irritating knocking on the side of their ship. Something like a... Right? They went to investigate and saw weird black licorice sticky tongues pressing inside of their ship through little holes that had been created in the hull. They were not happy about that, and at the time, Jetsam or Jetsom, I don't remember how you pronounce it.
You know what? Call him whatever you want. He'll answer to anything like that.
That guy over there.
I just assumed it was like Floatum and Jetsam, but
yeah. Like spot welded the hull closed and like burned off some of the tongues, which for some reason Ginny picked up, and that's why she's gone now. Danla, I don't remember your dude's name. He's a big old dragoon.
Yeah, Azalak. Sorry,
Azalak. Are you the one that leaned outside of the ship and shot it, or was that Ian's character?
That was Ian's character.
What did you do then? Anything?
Yeah, I was on the observation deck at the time, and I came in. Then I tried to overload the engine to blast what I thought was going to be many of them off of the hull of the ship, and it turned out to be just one.
Yes, that's true. I tricked all of you.
He moves very quickly.
I thought that was... He moved, right? It's like he moved from the one to the other. Wasn't that what everyone thought?
No, that's not what I thought.
Oh, I just thought he was like, oh, well, I'm not getting in here, and moved to the other side of the ship.
I mean,
that
is what
so
happened.
Quickly that I assumed it must have been something else and that more were going to be coming.
Right.
Because I thought this was like a breaching party.
No, we're not
They're going to be
equipped
coming
for
from
that. Dave might want to kill us, but he at least wants us to die to like Petrie or something more interesting. Nothing against Mr. Bananas, of course.
Yeah, I don't care. Okay, yeah. Look, I'm just playing the odds, you know?
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, someday there will be many bananas.
Yeah, I don't remember where exactly the Mr. Bananas name came from. I know his head kind of reminded me of a banana, but I feel like there was more to the story at one point. But my best DM prep comes to me in my not quite waking hours of like 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. So that's when I write all my good content.
That's valid.
How was Dr. Barnabas feeling about this situation? Poor Tom. He just wants to have a good night, and things keep ruining it, like me, and audio issues. I mean, you're making funny faces, Tom.
Okay, wait. No,
he's writing it down. It's 2 words.
Right.
It sounds like...
Keep going.
Yeah.
I got both of them.
Yeah. Okay.
You're good at charades, Dan.
Okay. So, we caught back on the episode already in progress. We would see this as like a 17 minute episode that like fills in between, like we would have had like a 3-part, mini episode or something. And hey.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Don't know why that happened.
He lives.
Technology.
But it doesn't do it automatically for me.
Tom, are you okay?
We're just having fun.
Yeah.
We're just having fun.
Please don't die.
Yeah. Barnabas is intrigued by the alien creature, but it seems to be peaceful, which is good.
Yeah, and that's probably the most interesting thing about Mr. Banana. So I don't think any of you have met a Calphus before. I also, let's take a moment and talk about this. We can enjoy some of the more subtleties of the scene. What were y'all expecting beyond the gate? Were you expecting seemingly intelligent life to just show up at your doorstep?
Not generally.
On our doorstep.
Sometime.
On your space threshold.
Yeah, but like, I more expected we would stumble into it as they're kind of just living their lives, but I mean, it's not too out of place for weird space monsters to just kind of be invited over for dinner.
Yeah. Barnabas has been outside the gate. If there's a thing that's surprising, it was the ease with which we were able to communicate with this creature.
That's
like
fair.
that it was intelligent is not surprising to Barnabas.
Mm-hmm.
That it had it A, knew our language, and B, thought in a manner that was compatible enough with us that we could just talk to it kind of right out the gate.
Sure.
Was what was surprising to Barnabas.
I get it. I think for Ozalak, I think what he's surprised by is that an intelligent creature capable of communicating is just like free floating through space. He's accustomed to, maybe meeting creatures that are intelligent, but like they would be more on like the large scale, like they'd be space dragons and things like that. Maybe not able to communicate in that manner, but he would expect most life to be on planets or on other ships passing by, not just dropping in for dinner.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think that's probably a really cool place to start. Jetsam, do you have any thoughts or questions?
As far like, I guess he was going into this thinking it's going to be weird, but like he's trying to kind of like keep himself grounded with the organic life has never been the side of this that he expected to be knowledgeable about or anything. He has a spaceship and he's going to kind of focus on that. And there's other people here who can, help out with like the alien life. He's just going to try and kind of talk people down and sort of try and keep some semblance of, calm and collectedness, especially with, Petrie. Like there's a little part of him who's like, maybe Mr. Bananas, this can turn into like a lesson on being good or something. Like, it's like this whole thing is weird to him, but like he's an octopus man in a spaceship. Everything is weird. Like,
yeah, as I say, currently you're 1-1 on both 3-part clocks, where Petrie cares about sentient life and Petrie does not care about sentient life, so you got a little room to wiggle in either direction.
Yeah.
Okay. So Danla, tell me your character's name again.
Ozalak. Or just Oz.
So I got to get the fucking overlays finished. I've been really lazy lately. I've been taking on too many other little side things and working on dumb videos as opposed to just getting like the shit that we need done. So I gotta work on that.
I'm not sure how easy it is to do in Streamlabs, but like overlay stuff I could probably help you out with if you wanted. But I don't know if it's as easy as just, I guess if it's an image file it's easy to do, but a JSON file doesn't work in Streamlabs, or it doesn't OBS.
Yeah, well, that's about where you lose me. I know that it exists, but I don't know how they work.
And I don't super well either, so I think if it's as easy as just plopping an image down, I could help out with that.
Yeah, that's all I do for him. I usually will make the nameplates separate. It's a little more to load, but then they're like very customizable, which I find enjoyable as opposed to like having to reopen the whole file and then like, because like you have to export it as a PNG, so you have to condense the file. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
It's a tutorial video.
Yeah. Honestly, it would be really good to do. Like, there's enough streaming talent in this group that we could probably make pretty good videos that would be helpful to people. There's a really interesting quote about the people who made money during the gold rush, were not the prospectors, but the people selling the shovels or the pickaxes. I forget the exact quote, but anyway, we'll set the hustle to the side and instead play some games. Yeah.
Is the game not the hustle?
The game is the game, man. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Gotcha.
Or EA Sports, if you prefer. It's in the game.
Can I hate EA Sports or EA? Yeah. I should say.
Yeah,
that's probably allowed.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Ozilek and Dr. Barnabas, you have been through the gate before. Jetsam, have you, or was this the first time for you?
Honestly, I'm leaning towards no. Like he's like he was around, like his family was kind of like a working commoner spacer family. He had like I imagine he's probably spent most of his life on like probably sometime on the moon colony, most of it on the last stop because that's where the family shop was. And I imagine he just kind of stayed there. He feels like sort of a homebody. Like, he definitely wanted to travel, but because he was doing the equivalent of, like, space building a boat in your basement, but instead of a basement, it was his garage. And I think he had, like, these grand plans, but, like, he was just, like, he was at home, he was building, he would fix up the ships. He saw, like, what happened and probably has some idea of, like, oh, yeah, that was caused, I heard that every time I've seen this thing, it's because they ran into XYZ thing.
Sure. So you've got some anecdotal knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. Like, he may have heard about weird moon monsters with faces because, like, repairing holes in ships and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
most of... And he talked about this a little bit. Most of them don't eat metal. He is a little odd. So... Ozilek and Dr. Barnabas, so there's no penalty for this. Both of you go ahead and roll the d6 on a 5 or 6. You have heard of or interacted with a Calphus before. Jetsam, you do the same thing, but it's only on a 6 for you.
Makes sense.
You can just ignore the other shit, or you can just roll. Yeah, or you can just roll.
Dan's got it.
Okay. So it's your choice. Have you dealt with a Calphus before, or do you just know some about them?
I'm going to say, based on what I just said a couple of moments ago about not expecting this type of interaction to occur, I've heard of them, but have not interacted with them.
Okay. So you can, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to assume that you find a way to get this information to your party, kind of as you're bringing him in and having interactions with Mr. Bananas. So Calphus are similar to like the mushroom mining men, right? They are creatures that eat rock, that they tunnel and drill through it and eat whatever bacteria or space grubs or whatever live inside of it. But like not like adamantium, right? Like softer rock, I guess. The closest parallel would be like woodpeckers to our world. I don't know if I imagine there's some kind of fish or like I guess octopus, like crack open clams that might be kind of similar, right?
Otters will crack open things.
Wow, how did I forget that?
Bingo. Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. You might be...
No! Bingo, no!
Oh, there we go.
Someone get this man a clam! And those are probably the things that kind of seem similar to you, but two things are very striking about Mr. Bananas. One, him being kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's not that they're crazy social or anything, but he, like you said, like he is like free falling through space. And the fact that he was drilling, biting, chewing, poking his head through metal was also really odd.
I think I would expect that they generally like tend to colonize together and like mine out an entire area together is what I would have kind of thought about them.
Mm-hmm.
Or like they would find an asteroid and that'd be their collective food source and home for a while. But
Yeah, you're not wrong.
yeah.
And then if you have a question for me about the Kalphus, or maybe what you would expect or what you've heard about them.
Yeah, so, and we already kind of talked about what they eat and all of that. I guess what would be their society? Like what do they believe? What do they value? Kind of that type of thing.
Oh, posture check. God damn it, Squid.
Oh, F.
Yeah, so I would say I have been trying to build all of the creatures in mind with potentially how they would generate resources in such a way that it would not be that they would be amenable to like beneficial trade, right? Like, and that was kind of the first idea for the mushroom people, was like if they were living in them, they would want to hollow out asteroids, so someone coming to take away all the junk that they don't care about is good for them, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Kalphus are probably pretty similar. They're definitely like feeling a bit like dwarves, right? Mining dwarves, but like in a much different way, in a much more physiological level. So I would say, that I do think as a society, they like you said, take care of each other. They group together in that way. But I think the thing that probably doesn't completely spin you out of like left field and you're like, we got to watch this guy, is I think as a people, as a society, they're probably very into like novel situations and ideas, right? So this doesn't seem too weird.
Right. Okay.
And he just
so
seems
I'm mostly
to be...
just thrown that he's here, not that he's like a threat.
Yeah, I think so, because I think you're feeling that like he's probably a little more odd than most of them, but like they are odd.
Mm-hmm. Right. So in terms of like the scene right now, who's where?
Y'all can be anywhere.
Okay.
I feel like you probably wouldn't leave Mr. Bananas completely unattended, but if you want to like regroup, you can just say their other half of your party is kind of entertaining him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I would be talking to Dr. Barnabas. Say, Dr. Barnabas, you've been through the gate before, yes?
I have.
And Mr. Banana, does he seem, how you say, far from home to you? He, from what I know of this species, they typically do not simply fly through space on their own.
It certainly is peculiar. Not any more or less peculiar than the simple fact that he's had such an easy time communicating with us. It's very peculiar. He says that he eats metal, unlike the rest of his kind. Perhaps he's some sort of ostracized pariah in his society. Or maybe he's out here specifically to predate on traveling vessels. We've no way of knowing.
Yes, I do suppose, being not wanting the same food as the colony, he may be separate, may be pushed out, may not understand their desires.
It is very strange. I would keep an eye on him, but if he seems peaceful, I see no reason for us to try to provoke further hostilities. It seems like the earlier actions were just a misunderstanding. I'll admit, it's not the sort of thing I think sets a good example for Petrie, to be honest.
No, but now that you mentioned Petrie, he come from another way. Perhaps he has seen these resources we've been discussing that may help Petrie's case.
I could work up a quick spectrometry of the sort of comets we'd be looking for, see if he's seen anything that matches our needs. Certainly,
Yes.
of course.
Yes, Mr. Bananas, come here.
Yeah, and his little
Hmm.
crescent head sort of rocking back and forth on his body.
Yeah.
He goes,
And
"Where is she gonna,
this is a
you think you're gonna eat that a little bit? She got a little box hiding down in the basement for me."
pardon?
No?
Come
I'm
again?
sorry, sir. I haven't any idea what you're saying. Now,
Oh,
if
well,
you don't mind.
Sure.
Oh, well, see, my friend. You seem particularly well traveled to the reaches of deep space. I had a question I wanted to propose to you. See, I'm looking to see, and I'm gonna. This is a situation where Barnabas knows more about this than I do, but he's
Mhm.
basically going to see, like, have you seen comets of this color? Right. The idea being that, like, I'm looking for comets that are emitting very particular types of gas that we might be
Luminous
able to use
gases.
yeah, with the composition of Petrie's gases.
Nice.
So I'm asking for, maybe I'll get like a chart or a color wheel or something. I'll get something that's like, have you seen comets in any of these spectrum?
Nice. Okay, I like this. Okay.
Very
What-
sciencey.
Yeah. What skill are you using here?
I'm going to use. Let me see. I'm going to use. Let's say this book learning. I think it's study, right?
Study.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
I know
Sounds good.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's either study or doctor, and I think it's probably study.
Yeah, I'm
Of
good
the
with
two.
study. So I think currently
Cool.
this is controlled but limited effect because while you can communicate with
It-
him,
I-
you're
yeah.
struggling to.
He's
be-
either seen it or
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and just like y'all are currently coming at odds, so you got to find a way to frame it helpful to him.
yeah.
But obviously, you have the
All right.
ability to influence both of those things.
No bonus dice.
Well, unless you want to push yourself, or well, there we go. Fired
five.
it.
Alright.
Fired it off.
Yeah.
Is 5 good or is 5 complication?
Five is
I think.
a partial success. So
Yeah.
it's like mostly good things, but it's not
Sure.
everything.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
complete.
Okay.
I think. I know because like 4 and 5 are some degree of success. 6 is total. 2, 6 is critical. 1
Yeah,
through
yeah.
3. Nope.
Okay. Yeah, so he he's rocking back and forth. Just like, well, I think it's gone ahead and seen just what you're looking for there. That was my little while ago. I think you cracked it on open and it all burned off all the fuel.
I'm sorry, you say you burned off the fuel of the comet?
Well, you gotta get it. Can't breathe that, so you gotta light it all off, sparkle across the sky, and get on in there and get some of them grub.
So you say there's nothing left.
Oh, hold on to that thought. Do you mind if I?
yeah.
Hold on. Do you mind
My
if I get
apologies. Let us get you some food.
Yeah, walk with me. I can smell something I think I might like.
Yes, let's head down.
And then so he attempts to lead you through your ship. Now you tell me if you're okay with that.
If I see him leading them around, I'm curious.
What's that?
Isn't he? So I had a vision of this guy in my head that he was really big. Is that my misremembering?
I think I said that he was, a humanoid body of about 6 feet, but all hands, right? Hands on hands and hands on feet, right?
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Tanned and rather stocky. Think dwarf build. But the head turns into like a bit of a point and a fulcrum, and then a crescent moon or banana that can you have not seen it do this, but it can sit like I can't do a good job with it because of my hand, but it can be a crescent moon, right?
Or like a
concave.
smiley face.
Yeah, or convex. Like he can twist it and turn it around and use it as a poker.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So
I think you might be thinking of Petrie, who's very large.
Petrie's
Petrie's
17 feet tall.
Yeah.
Petra's huge. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what he's let's see what he's going on about.
Yeah, so his content warning about to be gross. His wet, slappy hands just right as he walks down the hallway, and he very quickly leads you to the holding tank where Petrie was. It's like I don't know if you realize what you got there, but that's mighty fine eats.
The metal? I thought
Pretty well
I
refined.
do not think Petrie would care to be pent in this any longer.
I think Petrie would appreciate knowing that we're sort of permanently taking it off the table as a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Freedom's important.
So then that's a
Yeah.
yes.
Doctor, any reason we should save some amount of this and give the rest, or?
And not to talk to myself in accents, but Adelaide shows up.
Oh, God.
And Adelaide has the look about him of a man with a scheme.
Oh, no.
As he pulls at his chin, which is impeccably shaved, unlike myself.
Get your scheme out of my scheme, you son of a fuck.
He
God dang it. We're scheming here. This is our scheme space.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he pulls at his chin and he goes, actually, that's quite good, yes. Then there's no reason. Oh, look, a Calphus attacked. We tried to fend it off, but before we could, it accidentally cracked Petrie's shell. He woke up early. No wonder he died on the planet 2 months sooner than we expected. Yes, very good, very good. And he looks up and down at Mr. Bananas. He says, very good, creature. Go about yourself. Please. Take.
Why do things have to also be good for him?
I'm trying to find a way to fight him on this, but I'm also on board.
Well, the problem is that's also good.
idea.
That's like double good for us because that means we don't get in any trouble for cracking it open, and Mr. Bananas gets food, and Petrie doesn't have like this worrisome container.
Yeah, no, I thought about this a lot. This is like the only game prep I did.
So on the good thing, all of those, the bad thing is it's also good for Adelaide.
Well, I think.
Listen, you can't hate an idea just because of who it comes from.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
Very, very true.
I like to think this idea came from Mr. Bananas, who is very smart and kind, unlike Adelaide.
For once, Captain, we are in agreement.
Yeah, he nods. Well, very good then. I don't remember what Adelaide sounded like. I just know he's a pompous jackass.
I don't even remember what Ozilek sounds like. I probably changed the accent like 5 times within the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so then the party is decided, and Mr. Bananas, does anyone stay to watch?
Oh, yeah. I want to see, as the one who cracked the thing open and like already did a number on this thing. Like I might request keep like a sliver of it for memories. Like of like where I did some of the cutting or whatever.
Sure. Okay.
So I'll snag a little piece of that.
I want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just all going to
Exciting
stand there and
opportunity.
awkwardly watch him eat this container.
So y'all have to make a... Hold on. Let me get it.
This makes sense. A resolve.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it is a resolve resist stress test. So so clicking resolve should do it correctly for you.
Oh no.
You cannot take more than 3 stress on this. So you can take 0, but you can't take more than 3. A failure by 3 or more is just a 3.
Okay.
Assuming this is 0 bonus dice.
I believe that is correct.
Absolutely fascinating.
Oh my god.
3.
Yeah.
So does a 3 mean I get?
Yeah, you take 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So
Oof.
yeah, Azalak and Jetson both take 3, and Dr. Barnabas takes none. Fascinated with the science and untroubled by. And it's not so much that's like because on the surface, a weird man eating metal is not a problem. You know what I mean? That's just pica. That's not even strange. That happens in our world.
Yeah, he just turned his head inside out and puked black worms all over it.
That's exactly the problem. That's exactly the problem. You studied it up close, and like atoms were rent asunder, right? As like inorganic matter was like vaporized, and like logically you understand that the destruction of matter should not be possible.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Puddle of goo here. Don't have a stomach. I'm fine.
So
he's like, it's actually
they did
quite
not
similar.
write about this in the books I read.
So, quick question about the stress bar.
Yes. Did you stress out?
Is it when... No, I have all but one tick filled.
Yeah, you got to go
Is
over.
it when...
You gotta
Okay,
go
so it is
over.
over. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was going to ask, is it that last one, or is it you go over?
I could be wrong, but I think you have to go over.
Oh my god.
That makes sense, because there's nine
How do you have
total
that much?
ticks.
He's pushed.
I have been pushing, and I've pushed and helped every other roll.
So here's the other thing I will tell you guys. You're gonna drop. You were supposed to drop Petrie off this game. That didn't happen. You were supposed to get to the refueling station, which will not trigger a rest yet. But coming back from the refueling station, you were supposed to get one.
Okay.
So
so
you're gonna really have to
be careful.
Good luck.
Well, a lot of it was for tough rolls and stuff, like keeping Petrie chill, and a lot happened.
It's in the game.
Yeah. At the time, I thought I was gonna, never get so stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Banana, if you have concluded your meal, I would appreciate it if you could provide us with a heading to the comet you interdicted, and that we might salvage what little remains of the gases we seek.
Yeah, I gotta actually find myself wondering, do you have the same idea I do? So what do you think? How clever are you there?
Well, would I be able to chip in for a moment? Because you see, what I'm thinking is we really don't need all those rocks and that gas is just really getting in your way of all those various asteroids. So wouldn't it be great if we could take all that gas out of the way for you, and you could get a fine meal out of the deal too?
I already did get a meal, but here's the thing: you just fed me, so I was just thinking I was a little bit of a kindly man. I never want to be inhospitable guest, just seeing as you've been a great host. But I do want to know if the weird little monkey man over here thinks the same way I do.
Bingo.
Dr.
You mean
Dr.
bingo?
Barnabas?
Well, yeah, look at him.
What's your concern with my dear sweet Bingo?
Well, hold on now.
The monkey and the ball of goo is what is talking. That is, his name is Dr. Barnabas. The body, his name is Bingo. It's really...
He's my dear friend and boon companion, Bingo. Wow, this is not even close to the voice we started with.
All right, so
where's
Miss
Villainy
Banana
from place to place?
Do y'all know what a futon is?
Yeah, he does not. He does not know.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
I'm leaving it at that.
What's your concern?
No, I was just, I guess I was a little confused. I was just wondering. So now, you got a talking bottle of water.
I'm actually a collection of very deadly and hitherto unknown to science. Wow, again, we just can't get his accent today.
It's fine. It's fine. This is the off night.
Yeah.
And unknown to science. Deadly pathogens of unknown provenance.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess, I'd never seen that before. I just thought the monkey was thirsty. Well, I don't know. But question stands there, little jug. Do you think of what I'm thinking?
Just call him Little Jug. Sorry, I'm stuck on that one for a minute.
I thought it was funny.
I suspect I might be. Let me guess. You need to eat the asteroid, but to do so, you need to burn off the gases around it. We could collect those gases, and then you'd be free to eat the Comet. Is that about it?
Well, yeah, that would be if we found another one. We don't have another one. We got the one I already cracked open. But here's the thing: what is a comet as compared to an asteroid, boy?
Well, you see, a comet is constructed mostly of ice and other crystallized gases, whereas an asteroid, what you see, is a large metal body, mostly metal, rock, and things of that nature. They are indeed. Yes.
And what can you hide inside a little icy ball? Take that ice and melt it on down. Get yourself some of that fluid that's been trapped in there.
Well, yes.
Release the gases. I cracked it open, but I didn't melt it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take you there. I'll get you a little air pocket. That ain't everything, but shit, you find what you need.
Well, that would be perfect. Exactly what we need, in fact. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Look at that.
It seems, Doctor, we've been a little too close to the problem.
I wish I could be as smart as Mr. Bananas. I don't know what a comet is, and I live in space.
Yeah, we'll find it. Just go on, take me out. Who's been steering this whole thing?
What's his name?
The slug.
Shit.
We left the slug in charge, huh?
No, I'm pretty sure the actual pilot would have taken over.
I think you left the slug in charge.
This is
Murray.
Murray.
Yeah,
Murray. Because we got Ginny, Murray, Jetsam, Aslak, and Dr. Fightenbot. I can't do it either.
Dr. Fightenbot.
I feel like you gave up way too quickly.
And of course, Bingo.
Yeah.
And my dear friend Bingo. It's like 1/10 Sean. It's like half Sean Connery, half game show host, half all of the like science voices from that one Fallout New Vegas DLC.
Oh, God.
Old World Blues.
Yeah, Old World Blues.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the best
Science.
one?
It's like it's a little bit of that,
because they
a
were
little
all
bit
the
of Sean
best one.
Connery.
True.
A little bit,
except for Dead Money.
Dead Money was amazing. No, Lonesome Road wasn't good.
Lonesome Road was fine.
I think Ozilek started at like pseudo French, went to, and now is bouncing between like Russian and Transylvanian frog.
Well, the good news is that neither France nor Transylvania exist in this setting, so you can't be wrong.
Even better news, I have the name of my next band, Transylvanian Frog.
I'm just offending anyone from the South. But as long as I throw in plenty of y'alls, I've been told it'll remain accurate.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, okay. So we don't have a Murray to fly for us, so I'm just going to let you guys have this one for now. I'm going to assume you can get to where you need to be.
I mean, I think my character's been like the navigator too, so maybe if there's a role I can make to help with that.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean,
we decided that was going to be the that was going to be hack, right? It was navigate.
I think I had been using a tune for it.
Oh, okay.
Because I was much more like in touch with the aether of space and traveling that way, not so much as the physical act of navigation.
Sure. Yeah.
Do we have? Here's a question about the ship.
Yeah.
Do we have like a runabout or a little shuttle or some other like subcraft that we can, detach from the ship that we can do little stuff like this from?
So
are we bringing the whole ship up?
Yeah, I actually think you only get that if you buy it in the ship mode.
Yeah,
we have like 4 different things. We do have a long-range scanner, though. We did specifically get that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is all under crew gear. There's ground vehicles, recon drone.
Shuttle, yeah. The ships are extremely limiting.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating.
Well, they're just specific.
We don't even have a brig.
Ooh, for $3 we can all get an extra stress box. Ooh. That's powerful.
Oh yeah, aren't we supposed to get something at the beginning of every session?
Oh,
not in...
the not the gamut. The something. There was a thing.
Well,
there was a thing.
there's
I think it is Gambit.
There's Gambit, but that's at the start of every job.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
And at the moment, but as of last session, unless it resets every session, we had 4. But I think we can only have a maximum of 8, and it is all shared among everyone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Am I
yeah,
attuning?
Fire off that attune. That'll let us kind of understand like how like accurate, successful, useful, good.
Okay, so risky, controlled, or desperate?
I would say risky currently. I think Tom accidentally brings up a good point on that you are navigating all of your ship very closely to this thing to perform some pretty fine, granular movements.
Okay, and standard effect?
Yes.
Okay.
Damn.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, there we go.
Damn, that's really good.
You got
Big
there.
money.
So I actually, because well, wait, Tristan, did you say you had some piloting backup as well?
I do have helm.
Okay.
I have a tick in helm.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I think, Danla, do you want to talk us through kind of using the way to get you where you need to be, like geographically?
Yeah, I think if you don't mind if I take a little bit of like creative freedom here.
Please.
That the comets beyond the gate have a little bit of star magic like embedded in them. And that's how I'm able to more closely pinpoint its location once I know that it kind of exists in a general direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes
sense. So there's maybe some concentrated like power within them.
Is there like, is it like a color? Is it an aura or a shimmer? Is it like a string that you're pulling or tugging on? Is it a magnetic north kind of thing?
I hadn't really thought about that. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's kind of a meditation and general just auras of color that I'm able to detect in directions, and we'll say this one gives off like a true to icy nature, a cool blue.
Ooh, nice. No, that's good. This is probably where most of our special effects budget would be this episode, right? With like a kaleidoscope of different colors, right? All like sparkling across the sky, and then yours kind of getting rid of the ones you don't need and focusing on the ones you do.
Yeah, and it kind of not like a spider web so much, but seeing like these almost like tunnels or pathways that lead to it. Maybe they snake around, dodging more nebulous, dangerous, turbulent areas of space.
Ooh, I like this. I want to give you a devil's bargain.
Ooh,
you've already rolled. So I'm going to make a devil's bargain for you that will give Tristan a bonus. If you say that you linger your psychic eye just a little too long on this black shadow that is like struck with, right, like lightning or variegation of like a neon yellow.
100%, because my character is all about the shadow, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be giving him a benefit to do that?
So you are staring at it, and you're like, I think I know what that is. And it stares back at you for the briefest of moments, and you turn your gaze away, and we'll deal with that later. But now Tristan's going to get a bonus on his helm check.
Gotcha. Okay. So just to make sure, would any of y'all... So since you just rolled a 6 on a risky... According to this little gambits thing, you add a gambit to your crew when you roll a 6 or critical on a risky action that you didn't spend a gambit on. That bumped us up to 5. Would anyone mind if I were to then spend that gambit we just got to give me another die for this helm? Because at the moment, I'm assuming, would I get 1 extra die from his devil's bargain that just happened?
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm at 2. And I don't want to crash us into this comet. This feels like an important thing, and I cannot take stress right now.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. We'll still be at 4, so I think
Yeah.
we're in good shape.
So I will tick that bad boy down.
I wish that the ship sheet linked to all of, like, making a change on one, changed it on
sure.
everybody's.
Yeah, that would be cool. What is my position at the moment?
Currently, you are also risky.
Also risky. And since I'm spending a gambit, we cannot get a gambit on this, but it means effect standard.
Yeah, currently standard.
And it is 2 bonus dice, 1 from the gambit, 1 from the devil's bargain. Oh,
Well, you got the 4 at least.
partial. It's not good.
Yeah. So I was gonna say something we could do is just create a character sheet that everyone has access to that is just the ship. So it's like everyone can have their own if they want to notate things, but it's like we agreed this is the one we use. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds. I'm fine with that.
I like that. That way, we'll just always track that one, and there's not disagreement of like, well, on mine it only has 3 gambit.
Right. Yeah.
Especially
thank
for
you
characters
for
who aren't
letting me-
here today, who would not be keeping track of that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that devil's bargain and letting me waste a gambit. Oof.
So does the ship have damage? I confess not having read through this enough on the ships in particular.
On the ship,
Many squiggle pieces.
That's. So I don't know if we have shields.
Yeah, because I mean it just took some.
Yeah. So I tried, guys. Gosh.
Well, we got there, and we just took some damage. That's all.
Yeah.
So I can't pull up the book. It gives me a 404 error. I don't know if I have the right link.
I'm assuming. So let me double check a thing because I might have to. Push. Dang it! It's the ship. That doesn't really count as machine, does it? Darn.
What are you thinking?
So I have my special ability as a mechanic. The one I picked is called Fix. You may expend your special armor to resist a consequence from machines breaking or being damaged, or to push yourself when repairing or building a machine. That feels more like specifically like if we were to use we have some extra like thruster, like the afterburners, if we were to do that and it were to go wrong. I don't know if this would directly apply to I scuffed up the ship because I'm not a great pilot.
Yeah, I think let's make a note of that. I think currently we're going to say it has I think currently it's knocked out. It's taking up your cargo hold. That's just a given. But I think it's knocked out your long range scanners currently.
Oof, I can work on fixing that. That's sorry.
And then I may change that, but I think that'll do a thing for now. So
yeah, I mean, I probably mostly got us there.
Yeah.
I imagine he's just like kind of awkwardly piloting in this super careful thing, and I'm just like, you just like everyone feels the ship shake and like crash into something. I'm like, well, we're here.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that you literally just like pulled up alongside it, opened up, the blast doors, and then just matched its speed until it crashed in, and then you just shut them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, so is it like we have a chunk of this in our cargo hold now?
Sorry, I gotta check something.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know quite what I was doing there. I thought we were gonna. Oh, we can't really send people out. We don't have the resources. I think I just crashed us into this and just had our cargo hold filled with ice.
Well, luckily we probably have a few hours before it starts melting and venting various unknown gases into the hull, into the ship. So that's good.
Well, I mean, if we can reopen the cargo doors, maybe this could end bad, couldn't it?
We can get in there and siphon off and collect whatever specimens we need, and then we just push the rest out.
Yeah, there we go. We space gas.
I realized also that I think that my microphone did whatever the fuck that it's been doing again, and
did you say a lot of things that we missed?
I don't think I said a lot of things that I.
Oh, damn it, Tom, you went silent again.
Sorry, they're being awful today.
Yeah, it's you. We cannot hear you again. I'm sorry. As you were so Tom was talking about how his microphone glitched out and we couldn't hear, and now it just happened again mid conversation about that.
Well, I really wanted to do is do one more scene where we.
Yeah, I did find the damage section on ships too.
Oh, cool. What's it say?
Page 162. It says when the ship takes damage, it works similarly to how a character would take harm. On the ship sheet, each system has 2 trackers. The top one tracks the quality, and you mark the bottom to indicate damage. Since quality itself doesn't reduce, you may want to fill it with pen to make it easier to erase damage. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so each level of harm damages 1 quality in a system. Lesser harm is 1 damage, regular harm is 2 damage, and severe harm is 3 damage. Harm to the ship can be resisted. Shields and special armor may apply as appropriate. So
I think so. It sounds like removing 1 quality gets rid of 1 thing from it. So I think what Dave did might be exactly what it
probably accurate, except I didn't give you the opportunity to resist.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah.
He said a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah.
Cool.
I personally would not have been able to resist it since I have almost maxed out stress. Like I could, but I don't want this early in to
stress out.
Have a trauma. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll hold that in the ether because it's not going to matter for what we're doing next, and then it'll give the rest of the party if they're interested in stopping it a little. Like if Murray wants to take a crack at it.
I could imagine Murray like running in mid thing, and
Right. I'm gonna say that I'm down at the airlock. I've had myself put on a stand for whoever is going to actually go and do the manual moving around and doing things. But I've collected all of the drilling and siphoning equipment that I think we'd need, all the storage containers, and I'm like in the airlock, ready to go.
Yeah.
As soon as it's open up.
Yeah.
And so, Dave, just to understand, are we going out onto this asteroid, or is it just we've collected a bunch it's in our cargo hold?
Yep, you have collected the Comet, and that's why you took damage, because you let it hit your ship basically to land in there, because you didn't have like a big grappling arm. So
wait, did we get the whole Comet?
Yeah, it's not big.
Ooh,
it's broken up.
Yeah,
it's in pieces.
Oh, cool.
He cracked it. Remember, he cracked it open to eat the stuff that was inside. You were just getting enough ice to get gas out of the ice.
Gotcha.
So
that makes sense.
two rolls. One, to actually get the gas out of the ice, right? I think Barnabas is leading. 2, you need to convince Petrie to let Barnabas or somebody else fiddle with him again, which went very poorly last time.
All right, so first I'm gonna collect the stuff. So I'm gonna use my starting ability. I'm a doctor, not a blank, and I'm going to say I'm a doctor, not an oilman, and I'm going to roll my doctor to try and slurp on out some good out of these.
That's a great ability.
Absolutely.
Does it just let you like every so often use doctor instead of something else?
Yeah, it says literally, you can push yourself to roll your doctor rating while performing a different action. Say which patient research or posting taught you this trick. I think it's literally just like, well, it's basically the same as drawing blood in a strange sort of way.
I do believe that means you take 2 stress, though, since you're pushing yourself.
You can push yourself to roll your doctor rating while performing a different action.
Okay. Using the special abilities does unfortunately do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it also under bonus dice push yourself says take 2 stress.
Gotcha. Do I get to also add the extra die, or is it just I get to roll my doctor rating?
We'll say you get the doctor rating, or you get to roll the extra die too. I'll double check, but for tonight, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Risky, controlled, or desperate?
Desperate.
Oh no.
Desperate, and I will tell you why. There is not.
The gases are explosive?
Exactly. There's not just luminous gases here. There's also space gases and radiation and grub larvae.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
On the bright side, that means you get a tick in your insight improvement because it's desperate.
Yeah, that's very good. So where do I put that tick?
So next to insight, there's like 7 little slash
Oh.
bar tick boxes. The first one, or the first one that isn't filled in already.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I've
how you fill that.
I had been using those to track my like when you roll insight to resist something. Is that not
Nope,
where you're supposed to track that?
Nope, that's just the first 3. So like for if you have a point in
Oh,
doctor,
okay.
a point in study, and a point in hack, it's all of the first
Oh,
arrows
That's
to
why
the
that line's
the
there.
left of the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool,
it
cool,
does it automatically.
Roger Dodger. All right, cool. So is this standard, limited, extreme? What's the effect?
I think it's currently standard. I think that you've got the time to collect this correctly.
Yeah. Okay. And then I am adding a bonus die.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, 3 dice.
This is for the marbles.
Do you want? Does anyone want to assist or spend a
Too late. Partial success.
Nice.
partial success? He didn't blow up.
Yeah.
Listen,
Partial success.
fives. We take fives.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
But
this
one
house-
larva hatches.
No,
Oh.
it's not
house-
actually one larva. It's a swarm.
Oh, okay.
But yes. So you currently have rolled a D3 plus 1.
Please get 2.
Nice. 3 months of luminous gases that you can decant into Petrie. So you can replace. He only ended up losing 1. You still have to convince him of this, but you know in your heart of hearts where the science lives inside of you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Barnabas, almost a little manic at this point.
yeah, and so here's the problem. I don't know that. So your character's a little atypical in that I don't know how to harm you in the strictest sense.
A little what?
A little atypical.
Yeah.
Because I can't harm you in the strictest sense. So currently, Bingo is suffering a level 2 harm from space grubs eating him.
Yeah, I sort of assume that like the physical parts of my character sort of are Bingo, right? Like I have a scramble of 2 in my brain. That's Bingo.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that you and I can make sure that we make that work.
Yeah. So level 2 harm, eh?
Yes, which you can resist if you would like.
I would resist with prowess, I'd assume.
Yeah, as Bingo thrashes and bashes bugs out of the sky.
Well, I do have a prowess. All right. Well, so I mean, there's no reason not to try to resist, right?
Not really.
I mean, you take stress. I think if you don't try and resist, you don't take stress. You just take the harm.
Right.
But stress can be dealt with a little easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And if you get a 6, you.
Damn.
So you take 4 stress. Do you only
stress.
have 1 thing in prowess?
Yeah, I just got 2 in scramble.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Well,
All right. So
only
that 4
stress.
stress gets me to a full stress bar,
But not over.
but not over. It's
Okay.
exactly full.
Okay.
Oh.
This is
this
a good series of missions. Maybe
Oh, God.
maybe we'll break the rules a little and let you get some light R&R on the on Dixie 5.
on Waterworld.
But I'm gonna have Bingo use scramble to try and get the heck on out of there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Ride, Bingo, ride! Away!
Roll. I was very tempted to not have them attack and instead say meet your like 8th crew member, a swarm of grubs.
I mean, I'm fine with that. That would have been great.
Excuse
But
naughty.
Risky, control to desperate.
For which?
I'm trying to scramble on out of here. Risky, control to
Oh no,
desperate.
you're good. You resist.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
Okay,
I could
It's just
assist
you take
with my
the stress.
scrapping to scrap the grubs off them.
Okay.
yeah.
You're being even worse in here than you were out there, you little ass. Okay.
Quickly now.
It is not particularly thrilling, so but it may be tactical. Because 2 party members are at or about to be at the max stress. Danla, do you want to have the conversation with Petrie, or would the group like to wait until everyone is together? And you can spread that love around a little.
I have almost no social skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only thing under resolve is 2 points in attune. I don't have command, consort, or sway. So
Okay.
I got a
I
Pip
have-
of Sway, but that's all I got.
I have one of command. I think personally I would say we wait because honestly, I don't think Dr. Barnum should be the one to try and convince him.
Yeah.
Nah.
I also think at this
No
point,
offense.
Murray's probably come storming out of the the
Yeah.
helm and is pissed that we crashed into this comet.
Sure. So the thing
had crashed this comet into us.
the thing we can
Yeah.
do tonight though is do XP correctly.
Ah.
So on your character mode sheet, all the way at the
Mhm.
bottom, it has playbook advancements, and it says mark XP, and we're gonna go through everybody. And it
Okay.
says, so anytime you rolled a desperate action tonight, so if you rolled a desperate action, you didn't already mark it, go ahead, you mark it, not actually there,
But in the attribute.
correct. Well, in the track for either insight, prowess, or resolve.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I can never remember the skill. I guess skill versus attribute, right?
Mhm.
I think technically you can do either if you would rather have it in the playbook advancement. I think you might be able to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's every time you roll a desperate action, mark an XP in that action's attribute. So I
right,
think that
and everything
is
else you
specifically.
get to choose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
And then let's go down the line. Let's do. So we have. Do we want to try and do every session, or we want to just do tonight?
Let's start with tonight because we don't have. I mean,
Okay, we can do the rest of it offline too to kind of
Yeah.
walk through it. But you guys will have this experience now. All right, so Tristan, you're up first. So tonight, Jetsam, did you
Yeah.
address a tough challenge with technical skill or ingenuity?
I personally do not believe so. This was a relatively Jetsam light episode. There was him piloting the ship,
Mhm.
but that's piloting a ship to crash a comet into it. That doesn't feel,
I mean,
to me at least.
So I've always ascribed to the high water mark. I would say you can have one, right? But then you have to do better next time. Or you can just say, no, I'm good.
I'm gonna say no. I'm good. I don't think Jetsam personally. I don't believe Jetsam got any experience this session.
Okay.
I looking at him. I don't believe that he expressed his beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Mm-hmm.
The closest was when we were discussing if he had been beyond the gate, and that was more just a character discussion.
Sure. I mean,
he hasn't.
I would press you to take one for you did roll dice. You did do things this game.
Mhm.
But it's your call. I'm not going to force you to take XP if you don't want it.
It feels bad not taking it, but I'm just like, it feels like I didn't earn it.
Here, did you show up tonight?
Yes.
I think you should take an XP.
Oh my god. Okay.
At least in playbook advancement, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. I'll throw one in playbook advancement
All right,
for
cool.
arriving and crashing. I showed the ingenuity of making sure that that Murray was not around when I had the asteroid crash into the ship.
Okay. All right, Azalek, we're doing you next. So
Sure.
did you mark your desperate actions, if applicable?
I don't think I had any desperate. I think it was risky.
Okay. So so the thing is, if you're like, I fucking owned this episode, you can take 2 XP. But when you take 2 XP, I write that shit down.
Yeah.
So you addressed a tough challenge with wisdom or the way.
So I would say I feel like I should take a point in that because that was navigating to the comet, was using the way, and I think while it would otherwise I think be a pretty standard action for Ozlek to take, I think that discovery of this like black and
Yes.
like
Mhm.
that thing, whatever it was.
You know what it was.
I have questions because I'm not sure, but I think I know.
Okay.
Um,
So the other thing I'll say, because I do like to be vague and threatening with the taking of the 2 XP, you can do a thing that's this big, or you can do a ton of things, right?
Yeah, no,
They both
I
work.
think I'm only planning to take one here,
Okay.
but I think that it advances my character's like knowledge of the universe in a way,
Sure.
having discovered this
Yep.
thing out there.
Yeah.
So that's where I think I would take that as more than just a standard.
Sure. Okay, I like it. So you take one
So,
there.
Yep, I'm gonna put that I think into resolve.
Okay. Cool. You expressed your beliefs, your drives, your heritage, or background.
I don't think I did that.
What the hell are you eating? God damn it.
I mean,
I would counter with, we did see your background, and you were the person who succeeded on knowing about the Kalthus.
that's true. I mean, that's background, maybe studying creatures beyond the gate, but not having interacted with them.
Yeah. It's minor, but you start somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so the
Mm-hmm.
minimum to get those is you have to do at least something with your background, and it has to be more, important to the story than that, or you have to do two, right? Belief and background, or heritage and background.
Yeah.
But it's your call. It's always your character.
It's interesting. We're trying to talk ourselves out of experience. It's like the
Yeah.
opposite of any game that I've ever played.
I've found, in particular, people do that a lot. That most of them don't want to be greedy, and my threat of I remember what you take experience for tends to make people a little more cautious. But like, this game maxes out after you've taken 3 or 4 playbook advancements. Like, it's just, it goes very quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather find?
It was more a recollection of my background, not really an expression of it. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna pass on it, because I think that's just like, oh yeah, I remember this piece of information. I'm not really going into depth about my past life.
I mean, in the other one, we pretty much miss out on, because we didn't get to do downtime actions for vices, and no one has trauma yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
desperate actions in your first one.
I could see vices even not during downtime. I imagine that someone could get creative with their vice.
You could, but you really need to be doing role play, and we only played an hour.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm pushing all of you to, like, hey, I think it's okay to set the high water mark at the bottom, Like, get your experience. If you played, you earned it. But
Yeah.
you are the ultimate arbiter.
Mhm.
Thomas Montgomery, last name redacted. Let's talk about Dr. Fightum Barnabas and Bingo.
Yes.
Did you mark your desperate actions?
I did.
Excellent. All right. What say you to addressing tough challenges with insight or compassion?
I think that we worked out a deal with. We used, hey, we've got this creature here. He's wandered through the trackless depths of space. We're looking for things that might be found in the trackless depths of space. Let's work something out with him. I think that gets us at least one experience.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But I don't think we expressed our beliefs, drives, heritage, etc. I don't think we did that so much. Except like beliefs and drives, are those like game objects, or is that just like a thing that we know, like what Barnabas is about,
I think it is what you tell us. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I would say did we learn something about the character? We learned at the start of the episode, Barnabas was sad and upset that he had done a bad job. And I think that drove him to push to do a better job tonight.
Yeah.
To me, that's a drive. That's a bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very simple background, or maybe it's a very simple belief, but I think it's there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm down for it. Sure.
Okay.
I'm down to say that we've sort of expended that, like, I've made a terrible mistake. Now I have made amends.
Yeah.
Like,
so now it has to be
a little bit.
It has to be you worked harder, or you made a way bigger mistake, right? And that's what I like about this game. I like that it pushes you into like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, so we'll take 2 pips for then.
Yeah, I'm about it.
Cool.
The only other thing we do, technically, the ship has one too, like the squad mode.
Yeah.
The ship, where the hell is it? Down at the bottom, right? So we have not finished a job, but at the end of each session we look at it, right? So executed a successful transport or smuggling operation. Not exactly valid, in my opinion. Contended with challenges above your current station. I don't think so. I don't think you were risking the ship with the Comet, personally, but I would hear it out if somebody had a way to frame it.
No, I think
I don't think so, really.
I mean, if we weren't specifically on a scientific voyage, the idea of we are capturing a comet for essential gases to extend a creature's life feels like we're just dudes doing our smuggling thing.
Yeah,
but like, since we're specifically, this is a part of our mission, it doesn't feel above our station.
So everything you just said makes me think bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Your reputation, if I remember correctly, is weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
which
Oh, yeah.
I think you bolstered personally.
Yeah, we convinced Mr. Bananas, the metal-eating moon monster,
Kalthus.
to take us to a comet which we had crash land in our cargo ship to fill an enlightened alien's light bulb brain with more gases.
It then exploded into grubs, which I feel is a
Oh,
deep
and then
we're
You are
omitting.
killing me.
That's
I wish
oh,
you could see
not
this
but
cat.
it is important to note that it exploded in grubs as the monkey that's controlled by goo in a jar was having him collect the gases.
Okay, so we all agree with that, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that one or
So-
two?
I think just one, because it's not like we like. I think your reputation, part of it is like you kind of have to be observed in a way,
Yeah.
Come on.
and like it's just like Adelaide is going to be like, these guys are fucking weird, but he
Well,
kind of already thought that.
Yeah.
I think also like among us, like the more like as we get more and more used to weird stuff, we in turn I think get a little weirder, and we show up somewhere and they're like, "Oh, what have you done?" We just talk about stuff like this like it's normal, and they're like,
Right.
"That's weird."
Killing me, dude.
That makes sense. I dig that.
Sure.
So one tick there
Sure.
for
So one there.
weirdness.
In fairness, though, we can also say express the crew's goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature. Worked hard to improve the life of another.
Yeah,
Hey, we
did
did
learn
that.
something?
Yeah.
I think so.
One or two?
We only did like one real action to like if we had gone farther, if we had collected the stuff and talked him into it and done the thing, I'd advocate for two more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But like
we've still got some work to do in that regard. So I'd say
Yeah.
one is probably square.
yeah.
Agreed.
Cool.
Like I could see like finishing it up, and if it's successful, I could see that
Yeah.
getting us a pip later on
Next
down the
session,
line.
we might be set up for a big pile of
Yeah.
advancement.
Well, and we
Yeah.
have to work our way back through the other episodes. So cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so-
I know I already was ticking
Oh, okay.
things off. Like it was super basic.
Yeah.
Like I have after today 3 in playbook advancement, 1 in resolve because I had a desperate check.
Nice. Okay.
It was mostly a lot of stuff dealing with Petrie,
good.
showing beliefs, and I want to say it was I gave myself 1 for just the whole him trying to fix the holes in the ship with anything he could get his hands on. Like
Sure.
I this table is our repairs now.
Okay.
Feels technical,
Yeah.
skilly,
Then we'll
real
catch up on that.
basic,
Yeah.
but
Nice. Well, cool. A bit of a shorter session, but I mean, honestly, we still got almost an hour and a half in.
I think it was a cool little side quest that we kind of had. We wanted to do this thing anyway, and it didn't need everybody.
Yeah. No, I like
yeah,
it. Thanks
That was
y'all.
good.
Murray's gonna be pissed.
Thanks y'all for playing. Happy birthday, Damla.
Oh, thank
Happy
you.
birthday!
It's your birthday!
Woo!
Is the happy birthday song still copyright or
Technically,
Did that-
no, but I don't want to risk it since Twitch is having so many issues with the MCA strikes.
what day is today? It's Daniela's birthday.
What a day for
for
a birthday.
Day.
Let's all have some cake.
Nuclear launch
That one.
detected.
Cheers to that.
And you smell like 1, 2.
Smell like a nuclear launch? Oh no.
Yeah.
You're welcome for that one, Dave.
That was good. That was a good one to get out of the way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anybody has someone who's streaming right now, there's actually
Let me see.
nobody
I
that
got
would
Let's see.
appreciate our raid on my end.
Yeah, no.
Richard is streaming.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Drop his
help
chat there.
Richard.
Or drop his.
I don't know who Richard is, but let's help him.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna cut
Wait,
to our
hold on.
final
Richard
end.
is in.
Yeah.
Wait, Dan, is this the Richard that I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
That we work with? Yes.
That Richard? He
Yeah.
stream? What does he stream?
He's
Right
streaming
now he's streaming
Outer
Outer
Worlds.
Worlds.
Yeah.
That's rad.
I forgot I saw
sure.
that earlier.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's fitting.
Yeah. We'll rate him. We're doing our last.
I dropped
ad.
it in the chat there.
Yeah. We'll
Nice.
rate him. We're doing our last ad. Cool.
Woo.
Well, thanks y'all for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you had fun. Drop a follow if you want to see more content like this one. We play the gate every other Thursday, typically from around 8 until 10:30. We're also here on Tuesdays every other week for Among Us. We're just playing some video games. Wednesdays every other week we play Titus Vary, which is 5th edition. I have many cats. And Sundays there are several games. This week in particular is the first episode of Island of Stars, which is a second edition D&D game I'm playing with a bunch of other streamers who are not typically featured on the Electric Dice podcast. And then obviously if you guys have anything to plug.
Check out the more Electric Dice podcast. There's a cat.
Excuse you.
Yeah, I'll have more Zelda Rando coming up, not this week, but for 4 more weeks starting next week. So.
What are you doing? Should we raid? Is it time?
I will be a spectral presence in your home, in your dreams, haunting you, watching you, menacing you. Well, even when your eyes are closed, my burning gaze remains seared in your mind at all times.
All right. Thank you, Tom. That's very nice of you.
And with that,
Feel
we're
better
out.
now.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Fucking monster.
That was really good.
Yeah. That was up there with Ian's. I control the vertical now. Maybe a nice little end to the stream.